What makes the difference between a MIDI mix and a professional sounding track? Equalization or EQ. In this video, I'll show you how to use EQ to balance frequencies and bring your music to life. So what then is EQ? EQ is a tool used to adjust the balance of frequencies in your sound. Think of it like sculpting audio, cutting the unwanted parts, and boosting the good stuffs. Now let's look at components of EQ and understand the frequency spectrum. The frequency spectrum represents the range of all possible frequencies of a sound, typically measured in hertz, and it's often visualized as a graph showing the intensity or amplitude, the gain or volume of a sound across these frequencies. The ideal frequency for human hearing is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, that's 20 kHz. Though this range can vary based on age and individual hearing sensitivity. Let's break down the spectrum into three main parts: the lows, the mid-range, and high ends. The low end ranges from 20 Hz to 250 Hz. This is where the bass and kick drum lives. This frequency range is characterized by warmth. They are usually felt as vibration which come from the deep bass sound. The mid-range. The mid-range covers about 250 Hz to 5 kHz. This includes mostly vocals, melodies, and body of sounds and instruments. The high ends. This ranges from 5 kHz to 20 kHz. This frequency introduces crispness or sparkle in sounds. Though this sensitivity often diminishes with age, it ensures clarity, brightness when boosted, and contains instruments like cymbals, shakers, and hi-hats. Now, I'll tell you why you should use EQ in your mix. The importance of EQ. 1. It prevents frequency clashes. For example, remember we said the mid-range houses the body of most instruments. With this pluck sound, it's a non-bass instrument, but you can see that the frequency spreads and enters the kick and bass zone. Typically, the kick and bass wants their privacy and don't want to share their space with other instruments. So in particular, if you solo that band of frequency below 60 Hz in the pluck sound, this is what it plays. You barely recognize it as a pluck sound. I don't need that, so I'll clean the low end by cutting that frequency out of the way to make room for the bass and kick. With the vocal sample, I'll cut the low end to make way for the bass. Sweep it across the mid-low frequencies to get out of the way of the pluck sound. Now if you listen to the pluck and the vocal sample together, they pretty much sound good. And you can also see that I've cut the high ends. So why have I cut the high frequencies in the vocal sample? It's pretty easy to make room for the hi-hat shakers to sit well in the mix. Now if we combine all elements together, this is what it sounds like. Now let's bypass all the EQs we've inserted on the mix. Also, EQ ensures clarity in your mix. It also shapes the tone of your sound. Now let's take a look at EQ bands and common EQ techniques used. High-pass filter. A high-pass filter allows high frequencies to pass through while attenuating or reducing low frequencies. You can basically use it to remove low-end rumbles, unwanted bass frequencies, or cleaning up non-bass instruments like vocals, guitar, and hi-hats. Low-pass filter. A low-pass filter does the opposite job to the high-pass filter. It allows low frequencies to pass through while attenuating higher frequencies. Basically, it helps in removing high-end noise or softening bright sound. Bell filters. A bell filter, also called a peak or parametric filter, boosts or cut frequencies in a specific band, forming a bell shape on the EQ curve. This basically targets problematic frequencies like resonance or harshness. or we basically use it to enhance desirable ones. High shelf. A high shelf filter boosts or cuts frequencies above a specific cutoff point, affecting all high frequencies eventually. This adds some air or brightness to a mix, or reduce excessive high ends. Low shelves. This does the opposite as the high shelf. It boosts or cuts frequencies below a specific cutoff point, affecting all lower frequency eventually. You can use this to enhance or reduce the weight and body of a sound. Bandpass filter. A bandpass filter allows only specific range of frequencies to pass through, while attenuating frequencies outside this range. So with this filter, you can basically isolate a frequency range to create all these telephone effects. Notch filters. A notch filter or bandstop filter cuts a very narrow range of frequencies, leaving the rest of the spectrum unaffected. So with this filter, it targets and eliminates problematic resonance or harms without affecting surrounding frequencies. That'll be all for this video. Like always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.